In July 6, 1892, the Spanish government ordered the exile of Jose Rizal to Dapitan, but the decree and the charges were kept secret from him. These are the following reasons why Jose Rizal was exiled to Dapitan. The first one is he smuggled subversive books from Hong Kong. Second, he advocates the separation of the Philippines from Spain. Third, he charged for seeking to decatholicize, which is the most or equivalent to denationalize the Philippines at that time under Spanish rule. Fourth, he was accused of dedicating his book El Fili to the memory of the three martyred priests who have been proven traitors by the Spanish authorities. Why Dapitan? The Spanish government chooses Dapitan specifically because at this time, Dapitan is a small town and is isolated to the various revolts happening in Manila and Cavite, which effectively cut Jose Rizal to the centers that have sparks of resentment against the Spanish government. And since there's a big military force in Dapitan because it is at the edge of the surrounding sultanates in Mindanao, it is theorized that Rizal cannot form a coalition there that would side on his ideals because the sultanates there have strong resistance anything foreign in the area. Upon the arrival of Rizal in Dapitan, he have received a letter from Father Pablo Pastels, which is the superior of the Jesuit Society in the Philippines, which Father Antonio Obach, the parish priest in Dapitan, gave to Rizal. In this letter, Father Pastels informed Father Obach that Rizal would live at a parish convent on the following condition. First, Rizal publicly retracts his errors concerning religion and makes statements that clearly pro-Spanish and against peaceful protest. 2. That he performed the church rite and make a general confession about his past life. 3. That henceforth he conduct himself as exemplary manner as a Spanish subject and a man of religion. The response of Rizal to this letter is he did not agree with these conditions by the Jesuit Society, and instead he opted to live at the prison guards residence, which called Casa Real. So this prison guard is Captain Ricardo Carniero, and Rizal became good friends. Despite of the prison guard and prisoner relationship that they supposedly have, they still became good friends, and Rizal didn't feel that Ricardo was actually his guard. In September 1892, Rizal and his prison guard won in a lottery. The Manila lottery ticket number 9736, which is jointly owned by Rizal, his prison guard, and a Spanish resident in Dopolog named Francisco Esquitor, won a second prize of 20,000 pesos, which the share of Rizal to that winning lottery ticket was 6,200 pesos. Rizal, upon receiving the share of the lottery ticket, he gave 2,000 pesos to his father and 200 pesos to his friend Basamin Hong Kong. The rest of the money that he won in the lottery was being invested.
While in Dapitan, Rizal lives at the commandant's house. And with his price from Manila and his earnings as a farmer and a merchant, he bought a piece of land in Talisay near Dapitan. Then, he built 3 houses, all made of bamboo, wood, and nipa. He established his special school in 1893. From 3 students to 16 students to 21 students as time passes by. The students earn their living by apprenticing in Rizal's medical clinic, as well as in his horticulture and stock farm, while academic lessons start at 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. And also, all of these are free of charge. Rizal's abilities as a teacher was a revelation when he was exiled to Dapitan. He used his time there wisely by teaching basic writing, reading, arithmetic, languages like English and Spanish, mathematics, geometry, geography, industrial work, nature study, morals, and gymnastics. He also trained them how to collect specimens from plants and animals, to love work, and to quote-unquote behave like men. There are days that his students are only allowed to speak English, and some other days is Spanish. Violators of his rules within these days get to wear rattan handcuffs. Also, he encourages his students to play games or sports sometimes to strengthen their body. They had gymnastics, boxing, wrestling, stone throwing, swimming, arnis, and boating. Rizal also taught, Rizal's high school class was a model of ideal boarding school nowadays. And Rizal also taught the Dapitan folks applied engineering and gave them some lessons on business entrepreneurship. With this knowledge as a land surveyor, Rizal planned new street layouts of Dapitan and constructed it with the cooperative labor of the people. He also set up a lighting system of coconut oil lamps which is installed in dark streets. Using his limited knowledge of engineering, he provided water system to the town and also Rizal drained marshes to minimize the dangers of malaria.
Works in Rizal in Dapitan. Farmer. To prove to his people that farming is good as profession as medicine, Rizal became a farmer in Dapitan. 1893, Rizal bought an abandoned farm in Talisay, a barrio near Dapitan. He cleared it and planted cacao, coffee, coconuts, and fruit trees. Later, he bought more lands in other barrios of Dapitan. In due time, his total land holding reached 70 hectares. They contained 6,000 abaca plants, 1,000 coconut plants, many coffees and cacao plants, and numerous kinds of fruit trees. On this land, in Talisay, Rizal actually built a permanent home. On his lands, Rizal introduced modern method of agriculture that he had observed during his travel in Europe and America. These modern methods of farming consisted of the use of fertilizers, the rotation of crops, and the use of farm machines. Rizal actually imported some farm machines from the United States. Rizal dreamed of establishing an agricultural colony to improve the agriculture industry. Jose Rizal became a businessman, and Ramon Carrion, Rizal business partner in Dapitan. Rizal made profitable business ventures in the fishing, copra, and hemp industries. He entered the fishing industry because he sees good beaches like Calamba and catches the fishes using primitive methods of fishing were able only to catch small fishes. That is why he instructed Hidalgo to help him buy a big net for troll fishing, puklutan. His profitable business is hemp industry. Once he shipped 150 bales of hemp to Manila. He purchased hemp in Dapitan at 7 to 4 per picol, and he sold it to Manila at 10 to 4. Rizal also engaged in lime manufacturing, as he organized the Cooperative Association of Dapitan farmers to break Chinese monopoly. Rizal became physician while Doña Teodora and Maria lived with Rizal for a year and a half. It is here when Rizal operated his mother's right eye. Though the operates was successful, his mother had wound infection after ignoring Rizal's instruction of not removing the bandages. Wherever, the information was immediately treated. Don Ignacio Tomorrong Rizal patient who was able to see again after his operation that he paid Rizal 3,000. And the last one is Don Florencio Rich Haciendero of Aklan who was killed of eye element. In turns, he gave Rizal a cargo of sugar. Some are giving fruits and goods, fish, vegetable as their payment, and Rizal prescribed medicinal plants to his poor patients. Rizal also like artistic in Dapitan. Rizal continued to write poems such as Hymn to Talisay and Mi Retero. Imagines that the 4-year Excel was also a most productive part of Rizal life, and most have been his happiest years. Rizal Excel in Dapitan ended on July 31, 1896. It was the period when Rizal, aside from carrying out his passion in the arts and literature, he devoted his time to community services, civil works, medical practices, education, advocacy, and development in Dapitan, which is now as the Shrine City of the Philippines.
The story of Rizal and Katipunan. Dr. Pio Valenzuela arrived at Dapitan on June 21, 1896, hiding in the name of Raimundo Mata or Raymond Mata. Raymond Mata wants to talk Dr. Jose Rizal about the rebellion. Then, after talking to Rizal about the rebellion, Rizal objected Bonifacio project to plunge in bloody revolution for two reasons. And they have two reasons that say of Jose Rizal. First is the people are not ready for the revolution. And second is the arms unfound must be collected before raising the cry of revolution. Rizal is doesn't mean that Jose Rizal doesn't want to, but the people they are not ready for revolution. He also disapproved of the plan of Katipunan to rescue him because he had given his word to the Spanish authority and he did not want to break it. Months before the Katipunan contact him, the next is volunteers as military doctor in Cuba. Rizal had offered his services as military doctor in Cuba because there was a fight under between the Spaniard and Cuba, and also there was the yellow fever epidemic. And then Ferdinand Blumentritt was the friend of Dr. Jose Rizal and advised to volunteer as army physician there. Then Rizal wrote to Governor General Blanco on December 17, 1895 to offer his services in Cuba. And the last is the last day of Jose Rizal. Adios Dapitan. Adios means that farewell. Rizal was in 4 years exile in Dapitan ended in July 31, 1896. So on morning of July 31, 1896, his last day in Dapitan. Rizal basically packed his things. He was scheduled to leave the town on board the España, which is was to sailing back to Manila, and he went to back to Manila for her trial. Then almost all of the Dapitan folks, young and old, were at the tour to see the departure of their beloved doctor. And then at the midnight of Friday, July 31, 1896, the steamer of departed for Manila. The Dapitan folk shouted, "Adios, Dapitan!" That all Dapitan, that companions of Jose Rizal, shout for "Adios, Dr. Jose Rizal." And that is the last of Dr. Jose Rizal. Then, Dr. Jose Rizal is finally, after 4 years in exile, Dr. Jose Rizal is on way to another journey in his life, and he was at the enlightenment and fulfilled in his exile in Dapitan. And that's all. Thank you.